Welcome everybody back to TacosandGeeks.com. Justin here, back with more video game reviews for you. And today we are going to be talking about Retro Realms Halloween. Yes, Michael Myers has a game. And here we go to talk a little bit about this. So let's start off with a quick overview, then a little synopsis of the story. Enter into the Retro Realms, a 16-bit pixel art world as a horror icon Michael Myers become the shape and slice your way across multiple levels, tend to be exact, of terrifying platforming gameplay filled with familiar sights and sounds from the original Halloween film. Test your skills, upgrade your abilities, and confront twisted and fiendish versions of iconic Halloween characters. Engage in epic encounters to overcome the ultimate evil in this sprawling adventure filled with over the top action. Use brute strength and wickedly sharp weapons to help Michael Myers vanquish opponents across these multiple levels. And that's pretty much the whole just overview of the game. The story is simple. As you see here on the screen, this overlord, this demon, this devil is really wanting to bring chaos into the world. And he's enlisting Michael Myers to do just that. He wants Michael to form a pact with him. And since Michael never ever talks, this overlord says, okay, your silence are accepted, and I'm going to do this for you. I am going to bring you Judith Myers' tombstone. I'll get this back and I'll place it where it was as a nice trophy for you for your first kill. And of course, I have restored your very first knife that you will be using. That's the knife that we're going to be using in this particular game to wreak havoc and really create enough chaos and horror and fear to so this overlord can bring his minions into this particular dimension. This is actually coinciding with another release, Ash versus the Evil Dead, which I did not buy. You have to buy the game separately. This game costs $24.99. So I wanted to try out being more of a Halloween fan than an Evil Dead fan. I wanted to try out the Michael Myers version first and see, and then I'll get Ash and the Evil Dead to see if this really does tie in together or how they tie in together, or is it just, oh, I can use Ash with Michael Myers levels. But we'll see how that goes later on. But let us start and talk a little bit about the gameplay and the graphics. The gameplay is fairly simple. What you do actually, believe it or not, have an actual move list. So you get to see a little bit of things that Michael's able to do: knife slash, jump. He has a shadow dodge. Yes, Michael could dodge. A crescent slash, downward stabbing. He can jump upward knife, no fair stabbing. So they give you a little bit of move list here, a little variety. So your kills doesn't feel a little bit monotonous here where you just basically jumping and slashing, which unfortunately that's what I did. I mean, I felt it to be more effective to just button mash and also use the brute strength as well. It is a very bloody game. I did enjoy it. It is something that honestly I had fun with it. It is not an easy game. It is not an easy game. This is actually a challenging game. And one thing I did like about this game is that the ability to kind of switch perspectives of dimensions. Michael is armed with this little swamp totem, I should say, where he's able to see things. And one thing I like about that, it brings some strategic elements to the game because there are items in here, there's pickups in here that you can't see unless you go into the other dimension. So it's kind of like a cross between two dimensions here. You get to see things, and there might be platforms that will help you achieve certain things if you swamp, and there's puzzles that way that you're able to do once you swamp. So overall, like I will say, gameplay wise, I did enjoy it. I was love the challenge of it because it does get challenging, especially those boss battles. The boss battles are actually really challenging, and it's not gonna spoil who shows up, but if you know the Halloween mythology, you might know who might show up to fight Michael. Might be two characters that are obvious, that are synonymous with who Michael Myers is, that might show up to help and fight Michael, and that's pretty much I will say. Graphically, I do like the graphics. I like the 16-bit appeal here. I thought the fact that they use actual locations and certain locations, which of course I will not spoil here, in the Halloween mythology, I thought works very well. I like the way the girl looks. I like the way I actually like the design more of the dimension of the more the demonic realm compared to the actual level design here. Like I like the demonic realm because it shows a lot more grotesque, a lot more of that body horror, the way the monsters look. It's some really good designs there. So I do like the way the particular parallel dimension looks way up as opposed to the other one. I will have to say as well as term of frame rate, this was reviewed on my PC. Had no stuttering here. I will have to say though, one gripe was that I only experienced this once. Sometimes the hit detection, like I hit an enemy and it didn't register, and sometimes the jump didn't register either. Like the platforming, I felt like it could be a little bit tweaky at times because sometimes I will literally jump on a platform and he just Michael just drops, or I press the jump button and Michael didn't jump, or he walked instead. I was like, wait, I pressed the jump button. What the hell? So that, like I said, it was isolated incident. It wasn't something that I will say, oh my god, this is like game breaking or ruin the game or anything like that. It was just something that I noticed in terms of it. But the platforming is not bad at all. It plays like, oh, the best way I could describe this, folks, is one of those 16-bit Sega or Super Nintendo platforming games where you really have to know the pattern of your boss battles, like such as here, I was fighting as Mr. F here. You gotta learn the patterns of it, and it's something that you really gotta think strategically about. That's the best way to describe it. It's fun, it's challenging, but honestly, it can get a little bit repetitive, especially with Mike. I don't know how it feels with Ash, but let's talk a little bit about the sound. Here's a sample of that. Sound is pretty good. You get a little bit of the rendition of John Carpenter's Halloween original theme score in here, so you get various interpretations of that, which I thought worked very, very well, and keeps players who are really into the Halloween franchise engaged, and really gives you some of that authenticity when it comes to Halloween and that whole vibe of it. So I did like the soundtrack in here, and I did like the way the soundtrack was played. A lot of different styles when it comes to the genre of music that was actually implemented in here. So kudos to the soundtrack here. It was pretty good. Damn, pretty good. My final thoughts on this. Retro Realms Halloween is a good time, but it's not something I will recommend to pay $25 for. So I will have to say, unfortunately, I'm going to be giving this a wait for sale. This is more something like I would get for like $10 or $15. $25 is a little pricey, especially with the bundle with Ash the Evil Dead costing you close to $50, especially when the gameplay can feel repetitive at times. It is a fun game, it is a challenging game, but it's not something that I would recommend to buy at full price. This is Justin from otakusandgeeks.com. What did you think of Retro Realms Halloween? Comment below, let me know. Did you like the game? Did you throw us Comment below, let me know. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, folks. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, love, and happiness. Later days, all good health to you all.